We are live. We are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Happy Friday. I'm here with my girl, Donna, from Daily Dose of Donna's YouTube channel. We're going to be chatting all about the biggest reality TV news of the week, especially getting off of last night's Golden Bachelor, which was so intense. I need someone to talk things through with. There was so much to see, to process. Donna is a huge Bravo fan, so definitely want to pick her brain about. She's already so excited.
I'm like, yeah, and what are we gonna do? What are we gonna talk about?
Well, I want to talk about Taylor getting fired or quit from RHOC because I'm so confused.
Really?
Yes, I want to talk about Pump Rules, like the teaser next season, a little bit of RHOBH, and Paris and Love should be interesting. We'll talk a little dancing. There's so much to talk about.
I'm going to the finale night.
No way.
Yeah, Lance got me. My husband works on the show, so he got me one extra ticket. He didn't even get me a +1. I'm like,
would you have brought me?
I know. Honestly, if I did have a +1, I would have called you.
Okay.
But I'm so excited to go to the finale. But I'm gonna be sitting there alone. Well, but I mean, it's like, who cares, right?
I might get there. Like, I'm on the wait list right now.
Well, if you get there and you sit at Charity's table, I'm sitting on your lap.
I'm not sitting at Charity's table next time. I feel like she's gonna have her family there. Like, I'm just so grateful she included me for one night. Like, that was insane.
It was so sweet. Now, she was in the audience last night at Golden Bachelor. Yeah, I can't feel
everybody
like I
was. So we did not get invited. The last time we actually chatted was on your channel about last week or 2 weeks ago. And we were like, right before Thanksgiving, we were like, we need to go to the Golden Bachelor finale. I made an effort to go. Did you make an effort?
I didn't even know it was last night. I thought it was going to be like in a week or two.
We made
I made no effort.
Okay, so I reached out. Someone reached out to me from Bachelor casting, and they're like, "Oh my God, saw that you were with Charity. Like, that's so cool. Like, love that. Whatever." I worked with them. I casted the show, and then I was like, "No way. Like, love that. She's great. Can you get me a ticket or two to the finale of the Golden Bachelor?"
And
she said, "Let me ask. Let me try." She tried,
but
it just didn't work out. The EP said it was full. It was too late. It was full.
You know what's so annoying about that? Ariana and my husband talks to Ariana and all the other dancers because he's shooting their rehearsals all the time. And he mentioned to Ariana that his wife is Daily Dose of Donna, and she's like, "Oh, I've heard of that, or I've seen she recognized that. I've heard of that person, that chick. No, but she's probably seen my TikToks or whatever when I was talking about Scandival or whatever." So he said to her, "Would you do the show?" And she's like, "Oh my gosh, I would totally. You have to reach out though to my team." This is the problem, is it's always the teams, right? So when he emailed, my husband totally is turned into my agent by mistake for the Dancing with the Stars cast. But when my husband emailed her manager or agent, she said, "I was trying so hard to get Donna on the list for that cocktails. You know how she did that Airbnb cocktails thing, but they didn't respond to her about it." And I'm like, come on, guys. Get it together.
Listen, I don't like to beg to be invited anywhere, but the Golden Bachelor is my favorite. The Bachelor is my favorite show, and I have never been, and I just want to go one time. So I'm going to keep trying.
Where did they shoot that, I wonder?
Warner Brothers. So it's so close.
It was so close. I really, really am dying for a Golden Bachelor in Paradise.
Well, we need a Golden Bachelorette first.
That's true. But can we please get Susan and I want them on an island. So
Robert Mills, the creator of the show, was like, all of these women are amazing. We need to see all of them. And last night in the audience, you saw 8 of them were sitting together. There was Susan, Nancy, April, Joan,
Ellen.
Faith, Ellen. But Leslie, she was the one who was broken up with, right? So she was the final 2. So I think if anyone would be the Golden Bachelor, it probably would be her. But then you also saw a few of those women were in the teaser for Joey's season. So could they just have all of them come back?
I didn't see that. What do you mean they were in the teaser? At what point? I didn't watch it.
I guess they're going to be a guest hosting.
And then when I went to Dancing with the Stars on opening night, they were sitting. I didn't know that they were Golden Bachelorette contestants because it hadn't started yet.
Oh, no way.
But they were sitting at how they do a round table where Joey McIntyre was last week. So they were sitting there. And it was it was the Kris Jenner lookalike and Kathy, Kathy. Oh my God. Kathy is such a trip to watch. She just makes me laugh. Zip it. Teresa, zip it.
Okay, so if you want to see, let's say you can pick 2 people to be the Golden Bachelorette from the cast, who would it
Okay.
be? Who would it be? Kind of like a Gabby, Rachel, like two people together.
Okay. If I could pick two people from the Golden Bachelorette to cast, like you mean
To
if they
lead the
had to do
show.
two women, I would
Mhm.
say Leslie and Joan, maybe.
That's good.
Leslie and Joan. Because Joan was, I think, would have gone far because she's so pretty and she and Gary clearly had like some major chemistry. And listen, let's be 100% honest. Like, if you're going to be the Golden Bachelor or Bachelorette, you have to be someone that objectively, like, people will be attracted to, right? Like,
I mean, yes, but like the last couple guys have just not been that hot.
well, but okay.
But
So
Joey's hot.
which guys, let's talk about them because I don't watch the young bachelors anymore. I feel like I've graduated, but now I need to go back. Which ones don't you think are that hot?
I'm going to give you an opportunity to be Sutton Strack.
Naimam. 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 You're not telling me?
I don't want to call people ugly.
Okay, so but you said recently some, so I can just do
Yeah.
the process of elimination.
Listen, they can all decide who they think. Like, there hasn't been a really hot bachelor in a while.
Who's the next one? What's his name?
Joey.
Okay, I'm gonna look him up right now. What's his last name?
Starts with a
Do we
G.
know?
Starts with a G.
Okay, Joey G.
Joey G. He's really handsome. Totally
Joey G.
here for
Bachelor.
him.
Okay,
Yes.
is it Grazia Day?
Yes. This is our new
Okay.
bachelor.
He's a tennis professional.
Coach.
Uh, he hasn't started shooting yet.
They
I mean,
already
he started
filmed.
shooting.
They filmed.
Oh,
It's a wrap. They're done filming. They're going to air it January 22nd.
and let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Was he a Bachelorette contestant?
He was on Charity's season and he was her runner up. So they like to pick the runner up often to lead the next season.
Yeah, I'm. It's probably so kind, but not for me.
That's a bad picture.
Okay, so you like him?
He's cute.
Listen, he's by all intents and purposes and being a tennis professional, like this is a hottie. But when you think about TV, when you think about like The Bachelor, are you telling me they couldn't get another Craig Conover lookalike?
Bachelor and Bravo they have different castings.
I know. Who on the Bravo atmosphere, the Bravo celebrities that we know of all the Bravo shows that you can think of, who would be an amazing bachelorette, young and golden?
I have like the best answer for you.
Tell me.
Frank Catania Jr., Dolores' son. He's so handsome. He's like 24,
So hot.
so hot. He's like so nice. He would be the perfect bachelor. I tell everyone this. They're like, "Who's your Bravo crush?" I'm like, Frank Catania Jr. Like, duh. And everyone,
Duh.
and then I think Golden, Mauricio, but I feel like he could give like F boy vibes in a way. And like,
I'm gonna go Sonia.
oh, a Golden Bachelorette, Sonia would be great, but she'd be a good
Sonia
contestant.
Okay, so let's talk about for the men. I would say it would have to be like I want Harry Dubin. Like something awful.
Harry Dubin from New York.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like an older housewife's husband or like an
Or like
ex.
father.
Mario, Ramona's ex-husband.
Yeah, but I feel like that's just he wouldn't do it. It's from too long ago. Nobody would remember him.
I would remember him. I always thought Mario was a good-looking guy. Yeah, I guess Captain Lee, is he married?
Captain Jason.
Duh.
He was the Golden Bachelor at Bravo.
He can't be golden. He's too young. They have to have a medium.
I think that they could do a medium in the future because they are thinking about casting a Golden Bachelorette. If they pick Leslie, she's 64. The guys they're going to cast are going to be what, 60 to 75. Like they could get away with having a bachelorette that's like 45.
What would you call it? Like, because there's regular bachelor, then there's golden. Like, what's a good medium? Maybe millennial.
Millennial Bachelor.
Sounds horrible.
This season on the millennial, I think they could just do the Bachelorette and just keep it the same name.
I don't know. It did reinvigorate the brand, I should say, the franchise. Golden Bachelor, like last night watching it, was like, I was just like, whoa, in that one part where what's his name, when he was like, I have to come back and talk to her when he left her.
Mhm.
I was like on the edge of my seat. I couldn't handle it.
Captain Lee is very happily married. Josh says.
Okay.
Well, they got engaged, Teresa and Gary.
Gary.
Have we ever learned his name? It's Gary.
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 Like his last name? Turner.
Turner.
Gary Turner. But he's still not Gary to me. He's just AI Bachelor.
Okay, so he gets engaged to Teresa. She says yes. He breaks up with Leslie. She felt led on, and him and
And she was.
Teresa, and she was very much led on. But then, did you feel like at the end she kind of was like making a whole speech about it?
It went on. It went on for a long time. I don't know. I was thinking this actually watching, and I was kind of half listening because it just like, you start to think like, okay, I heard it. Now we're hearing it
Mhm.
again and again and again. But I also think like in those kinds of situations, I always wonder, are producers going like, stop, enough, because it's live. And I mean, I imagine they shot that live for the East Coast, like Dancing with the Stars, but maybe I'm
Yeah,
wrong.
they shoot it live. They air it live.
Yeah. So like I
Mhm.
was thinking, Gary can't interrupt because then he would be like even more of a jerk. Jesse can't be like, wrap it up, less, at least like when we're at Dancing with the Stars and the judges are giving their story, there's a countdown clock, each
Yeah,
judge. So I was thinking like, wow, she's going. She is going. And she was pissed and she needed to get it off her chest.
yeah. And I respect her getting it off. I just felt like it was like the same speech that she gave when she originally broke up with him, and like nothing really changed. She was still just as angry. She still had the exact same things to say. And you're right, no one could interrupt her on live TV. Then it would make them look rude. And I just felt like maybe she was just going a little too hard to get that Golden Bachelorette role. Like maybe that was her chance.
Do you think she's going to get it though 100%? Because there's a part of me that wonders. I feel like there's almost a side of her that just came off too depressed or something yesterday.
I
When
can see
she was
that.
losing her mind saying no one chooses me, it always goes this way. It always, hey Zechariah, it always falls apart. Like I can't, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening again. They never choose me. I'm like, girl.
Calm down.
Well, because I'm thinking to myself, Lee, you just said, I can't believe I'm humiliated in front of the whole world. I'm like, you're humiliating yourself now more with that. I felt so bad for her though. I mean, can you imagine have you ever been led on? It's the worst feeling ever.
Not like that.
He was straight up was like, you're the one. I
Mhm.
love you.
No, I completely agree. I completely agree. I do think he led her on, but then and she was just really going for it. Like anytime you mention like the outside world, I'm like, you can't think about that. Like you're supposed to think about like what's going on here. So I think it was just like all like breaking. It was just a lot for her to
She broke the
process.
fourth wall. I mean, do you think that there was like an element? I don't want to use this word because I freaking love her, but like almost an element of just like unhinged, maybe like she's just like she's not in control for the like Faith also. Gary had like an effect on these women because Faith also like fell apart the last
And
episode.
Ellen fell apart too.
I mean, do you think it's the age? I think it is because I think as you get older, you fall harder because you're not falling all the time for people.
Well, I also think it was like the opportunity of going on the show that just like really had everyone's high hopes. So I understand like why they were so heartbroken because they felt it was their chance. But like now, think about all the DMs they could get, all the emails. Like these women could have people reach out to them and be like, I want to set you up with my dad, my grandpa. Like there is an opportunity for them to go on matchmaking sites. Like if they want to find someone, there's people rallying behind them. They don't even need to be the Golden Bachelorette.
No, and in fact, being on the Golden Bachelorette, I mean, it may give them love, but we all know that like sometimes that doesn't even work. I think they're going to be fine. And now that they have, nice, I think Kathy Zip It is the only one that may not find love so easily because she came off horrible.
She's so funny though.
Her reactions, like I was saying on my show earlier today, I think she would be the best extra on a TV show, in the audience or like the people in the background at a restaurant, you're supposed to see them talk and like act really real. She's so animated with her reaction. She's always talking shit. She's always whispering to her friend. She's
Mhm.
always, instead of just like, her head is flying back and forth. She's very over the top. Zip it.
Zip it. Yeah, I mean, I would have killed to be there because I love the reactions in the audiences. Like
I
whenever,
know.
like I love a good like Justin Sylvester killing it on Beverly Hills this week. Like that is those people. I feel like we see ourselves when we
I
watch
know.
that.
I think that you know who else was in the audience? I don't know if you saw this, but Reese Witherspoon's daughter and mother.
Mhm. They're big
Isn't that
fans of the show.
random?
They're maybe they work for ABC. They did a movie, a TV show.
Or maybe grandma really likes the show and she was
Oh,
like,
for
let's
sure.
go.
Yeah, so there was a bunch of Bachelor Nation alumni in the audience there too, like Zach and Katie. They were the couple last season. Joey was there, Charity, Dotton, Serena, Joe,
I saw them.
Rachel, a bunch of people from Paradise. A huge Bachelor affair, and they announced that there's going to be a wedding special January 4th. What are you looking forward to with this wedding special? I want to hear all your thoughts, predictions. It's in a month. They're gonna say, "I do" on camera.
Do I have to watch it?
Yes.
Here's the thing. I'll watch it just because I need a little bit more of Golly G Willikers, Gary. But I'm not interested in Teresa and Gary as a couple. I am very uninvested.
That's fair, but, like, you gotta check out the special because everyone loves a wedding special.
I want to make sure that her lipstick is gonna look okay. Like this really threw me on the scene where she was having their last date night before he made the choice. And the scene started with her lips. I wish I had red lipstick, like
Mm.
as bright, like Joker red, like so red. Like, and it was kind of like dripping and like off a little bit. And by the end of the scene, she had no lipstick because Gary had all her lipstick. I think they made out for just hours in that room.
They're so hot. Did you see when she got out of the fantasy suite in her booty shorts? Like,
And they both couldn't walk.
it was in the fantasy suites where she wooed him and wowed him.
I know what it was, but I think it was before the cameras went down. I think it was right after he said, "So, what do you do for work?"
Oh my goodness.
I
Oh,
hate
yeah.
to say it.
Wait, so you think that he liked that she was wealthy?
You tell me,
I never
Zachary.
so
Listen,
I never thought that, but I saw that a lot on Twitter.
okay, here's what I think. I It could be editing, right? Editing is very responsible for telling a story on these shows. But the beginning, when they went on their Don't Stop Believing diner date, I really thought he really liked her. And obviously she was like smitten, right? They looked very, very cute.
Mhm.
But then we saw weeks and weeks and weeks of nothing. Like really nothing. Like very little like hots. Like in fact, I felt like we saw a lot with him and Leslie. We saw a lot with him and Paige. We really saw like some emotional. Remember that whole zip it scene? And then later he kind of pulled Teresa away and he's like, "What's going on? Like why is there this drama?" It almost felt like he was going to get rid of her because he was like, "I don't want the drama being part of the show."
Mhm.
So there was absolutely no part of me that was like, "Oh no, the girl he's in love with is getting in trouble with this Kathy." So maybe that was happening and editing just didn't show it because they wanted us to all be surprised. But
Yeah.
until that date night, that final date night where he said, "Oh, wait, hold on. I don't think I asked you. What do you do for a living? And what's your net worth? And what's in your retirement fund?" He didn't say that, but I'm assuming, he was wondering. All of a sudden, he's in love. He literally just said, "You're the one" to Leslie. And then that,
Mhm.
I don't think good sex is going to completely make you decide that you're going to fall in love with someone else. I don't. I think there was something else. And that's why I'm a conspiracy theorist on this one.
The edit definitely was a little misleading, and I think that maybe they do that every season just to really trick you and, like, keep you invested because I really had no idea it was Teresa until it was Teresa. Like, obviously, there's some spoilers that go on the internet a lot as it gets closer, and you kind of try to avoid them. I try and avoid them. But, I mean, he said he loves her and he's marrying her in a month. It seems like it's rushed, and then he explained in his interviews that, like, 1 year to someone in their 20s is like 10 years to when you're in your 70s. So
And it's true. I mean, listen, there's really no point in them holding off. They're going to get paid probably very
Mhm.
nicely for that special. And they're going to, I think you're going to maybe get mad at me over this, but I think that if you apply to be on The Bachelor, Bachelorette, or any reality show, you do have a level of like fame wanting. I mean,
Mhm.
this is not like just for love. I think that there's a lot of people that really want love but don't want to be a public figure. But these people do want both. So I do think that this is just extending their 15 minutes of fame, which, by the way, for the Bachelor Nation, like this turns into careers for people, and good for them. You know, can you imagine? My mom is 70 something years old, and I think she gets bored. Like if she was single and she could go on this and have this like cool new adventure in her life, I'd be so into it for her. There's life gets boring. Like what else are you doing?
It feels a little rushed, but like it's going to be great TV. And Teresa's become such a character in my eyes. I think that she's a really good reality star. So I'm not mad about them becoming a staple in pop culture. Like I would keep up with them and follow them on Instagram and see some ads. I'm not mad about it.
And then Vanessa Lachey pops out and she's like, "Where are the Golden Bachelor babies?"
Oh my
Remember
God.
how
They're probably
Vanessa
going to
used.
adopt a dog.
I want to know, like, okay, I'm very interested in knowing if Teresa and Gary have. See, the reason why I'm not interested in watching it is I feel like it's going to be so drama free. I mean, how much drama can there be in a wedding special between two older people? You don't have like asshole mother-in-laws or anything like that. I mean, I guess there could be some stuff with like the daughters or the kids. I don't see anything
No,
going wrong.
but it's not going to be like Teresa's wedding special on Bravo. Like it's going to be like much more wholesome and just like the planning. It's just going to be like going to pick out her dress and showing the whole day. It's only going to be 2 hours. It's not like 3 episodes. So it's just going to be a happy, fun event. They've done like probably 5 or 6 wedding specials with Bachelor. Have you ever seen any of them?
Well, I just remember like the originals, like the Trista Ryan, and then I
Yeah.
forget who the other ones were.
Sean and
Oh yeah.
Catherine. And then
Mm-hmm.
Jade and Tanner did one in Paradise.
Mm.
There's a bunch of them. Um, Zach, do you mean Leslie or Teresa? I'm talking about Teresa being like a
Teresa.
legend. Yeah. And winning. Celeste says Vanessa Lachey is too funny.
I think that Teresa is like she's almost a caricature of herself, right? With her high voice and like her big sparkly eyes and her mouth. Like I don't know, she looks like a cartoon character almost with the small little legs and the big boobs. She's cute.
She's so cute. Wait, so they're going to move to Charleston. They're looking for a house and they're going to get a
Put them
house
on
in
Southern Charm
Charleston.
immediately. I
Right?
want a Patricia inviting Gary and his wife over scene.
Yes. I love that. I would watch like a reality show of theirs.
Really?
Okay, maybe I'm stretching.
Yeah, no, you would last 5 seconds because I personally think they are boring.
Okay.
But
We're
I
going to
also
change the topic.
okay, quickly, but I was very like off put or like a little bit off from the article that was just
Oh,
released. And I
yeah.
think that maybe that plus the way that he treated Leslie just turned me off from him as a woman. I'm like, ew, you're kind of a jerk. And I saw that the 4 women, Susan, like posted a reel, and it was so funny. It was such like a boomer reel because
Yes.
right before they say anything, it's like you hear someone say 3, 2, 1, and then they do it.
I do that still.
Oh my God. But like we cut it, right? Like you would cut out the 3, 2.
Sure.
You literally see Kathy and Susan and like some of the other women, like 3, 2, whatever. Anyway, I have to say, like, I think that on the comments, like this morning when it was first posted, I saw the comments and it was like, you dodged a bullet. You dodged a bullet. You guys are lucky. Thank God you didn't end up with him. So I don't know if like public opinion is really on Gary's side today.
Yeah, that was a really rough article. I read it, I processed it. I feel like there's always 2 sides to the story. Part of it felt convenient right before the finale. Part of it felt like the show was sprucing up his image for the show to make him more desirable as a lead. I just think it's just not necessary because it just was so irrelevant to like the show and the story and I didn't care.
I think the one thing, like if he had a bad relationship and she was bitter or whatever, fine. Like we all have. I just think the one thing that felt a little bit weird, and this could have been a production thing rather than a Gary thing, was him saying that he hasn't dated since his wife died. Because now we're under an idea that this is like so novel for him and so new. And apparently, according to multiple sources, no, he was like always hooking up with women, bringing them to bars and stuff.
That's
He's a
what,
good-looking guy. Of course he was.
yeah.
Men are men.
Well, that's why he has to leave Indiana because all his exes are there. So how is he going to bring Teresa? She'll find out immediately.
Literally, like she'll open his drawer and there'll be like 14 pairs of underwear.
The town is really small there.
And they're all his exes.
Yeah, that's why a fresh start in Charleston, perfect for them. Congrats, Golden Bachelor finale. I'm so excited it's over. I'm loving finale season. We just saw the finale of Special Forces this week. We got a few winners and Dancing with the Stars next week. Who is your main, like, who do you think is going to win? Or you want Ariana?
I have to say I want Ariana. I mean, I just think she's so freaking stunning to watch. So I think, will win. If it's down to two, I hope it's her and Ariana. Um, I think we can all, like, for the most part, assume that Allison won't.
I know,
And
but then she got called first.
but I think they did this all intentionally to kind of screw with the audience. Cause I think I was talking to Lance. Lance had no idea because the crew doesn't, the producers really are the only ones that know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Crew has no idea. So he said that they were all freaking out watching just like we were. But what's interesting is in the production schedule, it's premeditated, kind of like which weeks people will go home, which weeks they won't. And of course, it's going to shift maybe if someone's sick or injured. But I think this was the plan all along. And the reason why they called Allison first is because that left everyone saying, wait, what? You know, if it was down to Allison and Sochi or Allison and Ariana, and then they said both of you, I think people would have been like angry, right?
So then are they basically saying that Ariana and Sochi are the top two and they were just reverse fucking with us last week and that's what's going to happen next week? So it's going to be one of the two of them?
I don't know. I think there's theories, but also, like, what is it really based on? Votes only?
I don't know what it's based on. I think it's based on like who has the best story.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I would like to believe that all of these vote in type shows are legit. But you know, have you been watching Squid Game the challenge at all? Have you watched any of it?
I
So,
keep up a little bit.
okay, did you watch the scripted show when it came out at all?
Tell
All right,
me.
there's the first competition of Squid Game in the scripted show and then also in the reality show is this almost like red light, green light, you know, where the doll turns and you run, run, run. And by the time the doll looks at you, you have to be totally still. And if there's any movement, apparently the sensors catch you and they put like an ink blot on you. Okay, whatever. There is a mother-son combo on Squid Games in this first few episodes that it's obvious. Balloons. It's obviously so, that was so weird. It's obviously so, like, such a good story because you have an older mother and her son that are there. This mother, every time she stopped, she was like, and they never called her out. Yet someone else stopped and they were like, and they got called out. I'm like, this is a lot of this has to be production choices on all of these shows. Because at the end of the day, if Matt Walsh or like one of those people that got eliminated, Adrian Peterson or whatever, if it was really on votes and they were up at top, Adrian Peterson was going to be winning Dancing with the Stars? No, we would be devastated.
Yeah. So we need whoever has like whoever has like the best story and has improved the most in dancing with a combination of votes, judges, scores. Like they probably take everything into account. And
But they're able to do it so fast.
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be mad if Jason won.
I mean, listen, he's amazing. And if he does win, I think it would be great. But I think that people would probably be a lot, like, pretty bummed that one of those girls didn't win. Because I mean, Ariana has got to have a huge amount of votes every week. Jason is a huge music star as well, but I can't imagine
is a huge star too.
But, like, is she before
in the
this?
Marvel
Like,
world?
I know in the Marvel world, but I guess Ariana's only in the Bravo world. Like, we're so in the Bravo world, and I'm not in the Marvel world. But if you took any of those Bravo lebs, like at BravoCon, and put them out in the wild, people wouldn't know who they were.
I don't know I really don't know. I'm always shocked with dancing, who wins every year. I would be happy if Ariana won, Charity, or Jason.
Mm-hmm. You know what? 100% Teresa or Gary are on Dancing with the Stars next season.
I hope Gary's
not even
on
a
it.
question, right?
I hope Gary's on it.
He has to be. But then what if he falls in love with his dance partner?
That's not going to happen.
You know, Zachary, you're very kind. It's happened before.
Okay.
Mauricio.
So we'll see what happens next week. Hopefully I'll see you there in the ballroom.
Oh my God.
Time will tell. What do you think of Paris in Love? Do you like it?
So I just got turned on to Paris in Love season 1 this week because one of my dosers had mentioned something to me on a Facebook group, like, please cover it. It's so good. So there were short episodes, and I didn't finish season 1 yet, but I started season 2 because it came out last night. And
Yeah.
now I'm about 2 episodes in. I mean, they're long episodes. I
Yes.
It is such like an enigma. This family it's so beyond my wildest dreams, the amount of money that they have,
Hmm.
and who Paris is, and how Paris to me, and I know she's gone through a lot of trauma, is really like almost still a child in so many ways. And she has like a sense of arrested development a little bit. Um, she had all that crazy stuff that happened at her boarding school that she got sent to. And clearly she's very upset, but it's weird. There's like 4 different personalities that Paris has. And we keep going back and forth.
The whole show is about Paris, and I think it would be more interesting to see a couple more characters. It is just very documentary. It's very vlog style. It's very beautiful, pink, over the top. I feel so bad that her dog went missing.
And
Poor
that's it.
Diamond.
He's done, right? I mean, he never came home.
Yeah.
So sad.
But her house is like, it's just so big. It's just like everything is so over the top and glamorous.
But even when Diamond Baby went missing, she was really upset and really panicked. But even the way that she's upset and panicked doesn't feel real. Like, it doesn't, it's not that it's not real. I think it's real. It's her real. But it doesn't feel like, how when Kim Kardashian cries, like you can see that she's like really hurt and really upset.
Mm.
I don't get that, or maybe she's just not showing that, but it's more pouting. It's like, I can't find my dog. But you don't actually see her like break down.
Yeah.
It's weird, right?
She's just like, she is a doll.
Yeah.
And she's always put on like her very much like Paris persona.
And that
And
baby voice, which is very, very challenging to listen to, in my
so,
opinion.
yeah, I'm going to watch the season. I'm going to see what it's like where she evolves. And I hope that like you get the luxury and the glamour. I love Kathy Hilton. Like I miss her on Beverly Hills.
Okay,
So
but
it's
I need you
fun.
to I need us to talk for a second about how Kathy is in this first episode. I don't know if you noticed, like when Paris is giving herself the IVF shots, and she's like, "Ow, ow, this really hurts." And Kathy's like, "Anyway, my purse that I just got." And Paris is like trying so hard to get mom's attention, like, "Ow, look at this needle. It's so big." And ow, ow. And mom is like, "Okay, honey, I'm gonna go." And the producer even had to be like, Kathy, do you know what Paris is doing? Yeah. Oh, what is she? It was bizarre. As a mother myself and having a mother, like I just can't wrap my head around how that is.
Yeah.
It really like it was not a nurturing motherly like feel at all. I don't know if her mom is capable. I don't know if Kathy's really capable of like being super nurturing, because seeing that if you know that your daughter's trying to get pregnant and shooting herself in her stomach and in pain, and you don't even like give her any like, "Oh babe, I'm sorry." It was weird.
I was really confused by the shooting your stomach, like with the IVF journey and everything. Like I'm really like confused on a lot of this because this is just not my forte. So
You mean you don't do IVF practices
I
in your
don't
home?
know. And like their whole life is just like so overwhelming because there's just so much to look at in every shot. Like even like her confessionals that like I'm not even like processing like I'm not even thinking about like their relationship. Like I'm just kind of like looking at the show like it's Candyland, if that makes sense.
I will continue to look at the show in the sense of mommy dearest. Like that's
Gotcha.
what I want to look, because Kathy was mic'd at her holiday party and she kept saying these like effed up things. And she's like,
Hmm.
I keep forgetting I'm mic'd.
I
And
know.
she goes to Paris. She goes, you smell like a rat.
Hmm.
And then she said to her other friend about the like, "Oh, my friend has breath that smells like a dead fish." I'm like, "Oh my God."
Yeah.
I wonder about that woman. I mean, it's very possible that there's also multiple sides of, I mean, let's be honest, they're all like, they're reality stars and they're so wealthy. And like the story of the Hilton. So everyone's telling me to read House of Hilton, which I guess Zach Peter did a book club on.
Hmm.
Um, and it's like, it's all the like kind of the way that the Hiltons were raised and like the older generations. I am
Is
very
it
interested.
I need like a documentary.
Exactly. Like we need the House of Kardashians
I
basically for real
loved the House
things.
of Kardashian. Did you
I
watch
haven't
it?
seen it yet.
It's so good. You have to
Where
watch it.
where is it?
It's on Peacock.
Okay, that's my night tonight.
It's just like all 3 episodes, so good.
Okay,
I
I'm
loved
watching it.
it. Okay, so on your channel, you talk a lot of Bravo. Is that your main like obsession, your main fandom, and like what you like to cover on your page, your YouTube show?
I would say Bravo, Sister Wives, and of course Golden Bachelor. Like I'll do Love Is Blind. Like I'll do random shows, but Bravo is so consistent. Like there's always something good. So any of the Real Housewives, except I'm not really into Atlanta, but any of the other ones I will happily watch and talk about. And then Southern Charm and like Summer House, Winter House.
And when did you start your channel?
January of this year. But I didn't actually start the YouTube portion. I was just doing an audio podcast
Okay.
in January, and then I started putting it on YouTube in March.
So you started just as a podcast, like Spotify audio, and like this just came out of nowhere. Like what made you decide that you just wanted to start a channel?
Well, I'm a former casting director. So I used to cast for scripted shows for like Disney, Nickelodeon, ABC, Fox, like all of them
Cool.
years and years. I say years and years ago, but like that was my career. And
Mhm.
then I was an agent. I was a talent agent in 2017. And then right after that, I started my own business helping actors get jobs. So like coaching. And I was doing really, really well at that, but also didn't really want to work with child actors anymore because that was what I was doing.
Yeah.
So I pivoted into like helping entrepreneurs, but I've always had just an affinity and love for entertainment and TV and
Mhm.
reality TV. Like I'm obsessed with it. And I was listening to so many podcasts and watching shows that covered these things. And then, you know, The Toast. Have you ever heard of The Toast?
That's like my favorite podcast.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I love that. So The Toast just, they're so great. And I started listening to their show last year pretty regularly. And I love that it was daily because I think there's something really cool about feeling like you have friends like that you check in with once a day.
Yeah.
And I don't listen to their entire episodes sometimes because they're long, but at least I want to hear the first few minutes. Like I just want to hear what's going on in their life. You know, that's just I felt like that's what I wanted to do. So I was
Yeah.
like, I'm going to keep doing my business. I have clients, I work all the time, but I'm going to also add this daily show that's more, I didn't really know it was going to be reality shows. It was more just like basic pop culture stuff, or I would talk about a show I just watched, or I would talk about a movie I was into, or like 90s TV, you know, random stuff. And then I kind
Yeah.
of fell into I started talking about Jeff Lewis
Yeah.
because I love Jeff Lewis's show. And Hollywood House Lift was out, and like I was talking about all that. And then I fell into like talking about Heather McDonald, and like that brought me a ton of eyes talking about that world because not a lot of people were covering like the podcasters. Then I
Okay.
talked about like Zach Peter and
Mhm.
Adam and like so I have a weird kind of niche where I talk about reality shows, but I also talk about the creators.
Interesting. So you could just talk about like whatever you want. And that's kind of like what YouTube channels are, like
Mhm.
podcast shows. I feel like I like doing lives and daily shows, like you kind of just like talk about whatever you're watching and whatever's happening in your life and in your orbit. And it's just like it's a long form influencer, right? Like just like these girls are doing Get Ready With Me's on TikTok, they're talking about what's going on in their life in like however many seconds, or like people do that short form. Like that's what like YouTube shows and podcast shows are. So you have your own channel, Daily Dose of Donna. Everyone go subscribe, link down below.
Yay.
Um,
Yeah,
and
I think the cool thing
yeah,
is, you know, I back in like 2020, 2021, when we were in like the height of COVID, I was working, you know, doing what I do, which is coaching. And I was at the time, I'm not really doing that as much, but I was helping a lot of people build their online brands because that's what I was doing. And it was working using social media. So I
mm-hmm,
was doing all of that, but I was lacking community and I was lacking like, you know, we were so isolated, right? Like we couldn't leave our homes. And so there was an app called Clubhouse. I don't know if you heard about
yeah,
this.
yeah,
So in 2021, I became obsessed with the app for like 6 months. And I was on it every day and I amassed like 25,000 followers really, really fast. And I was hosting these rooms. And the reason why I loved Clubhouse so much is because I felt like every single morning you could wake up and check in with your friends. But then when Clubhouse was over, I started to gravitate to YouTube channels because I would
mm-hmm,
not my own, but I would listen to other people's because I felt like I felt like just having their voice in my ear every day was like hanging with a friend. I don't know. It's like,
Yeah, no, I'm the same. I love YouTube videos. I've been watching YouTube videos for years. I've
what
always had a
kind?
channel. I watch like a lot of podcasts
I love it.
and I watch a lot of interviews with like,
Yeah.
just like Access Hollywood, E News, just like a bunch of different podcasts and interviews and reality show clips and like all that kind of
What's
stuff.
your favorite podcast?
The Toast. I like the Vile Files.
Okay.
I listen to like a lot of the Bachelor ones just so I'm like up to date on
There's
what's
so
going on.
many.
I listen to Heather McDonald sometimes and Lala sometimes. I kind of
Mhm.
just like a good variety of stuff.
And also it depends on like who the guest is and what the topics are, right? Because
Yeah,
like
like even with like the Toast, for example, like I will listen to the stories that I care about, right? Like if you don't
exactly.
have because you want to get a little bit of everything. But I love like long form content too because I like to just talk to people too, and it's just like a way to like get your thoughts out and like monetize and like meet people and like just like create a community, like all the stuff.
I know, totally. I mean, it's crazy. And thank God for AirPods. Like you can just walk around your house, you can multitask. That's the thing. It's like it's sometimes really hard for me to find time to watch shows because it forces me to sit still. And I'm so not a sit stiller. I want to multitask. That's why I purchased YouTube Premium because now I can watch YouTube, but like turn off the screen and put it in my pocket and listen to YouTube. So, by the way, in case you guys are wondering why there's so many ads, just purchase YouTube Premium. You never get an ad again.
Okay, I actually need that. And also I have AirPods, so shade. I have AirPods and I they're in the other room, but I've never used them.
Wait. You don't use AirPods?
Isn't that I'm kind of
Like,
old
wait, when
school.
you're like walking around your house and doing things?
I live in like an apartment. Like I don't like I live by myself. I don't need them. And
So
then
you'll
I
just
use
play things
headphones
out on on the phone.
or the TV
Okay. Listen, I guess
or the
that makes
computer
sense. For
or the
me, I have like
computer.
dogs. So I'm always like walking dogs, going in and out. My
Yeah.
office is like kind of separate from my house. Like I have to go outside. And I feel like my ears will soon just become an AirPod. Like they're always in my ears. Literally wherever I go is an AirPod.
No, I
But
love that.
I
I've
get
never
tangled up
used
in those things that
I
you
get sick
have.
it up, but I've never used AirPods. Isn't that crazy? It's so
Yeah. And
weird.
if you have an extra pair, I'll buy them.
No, I need to use them. I've been waiting to open them, but I just like have never used them. Isn't maybe I should
Yeah.
just use them today because I'm old school. I love headphones. There's something about headphones that I've always really like. I like them.
You like the fact that it's connected, you're tethered?
Yes.
Get with the time, Zachary.
But there's just some ways that I'm old school.
Do you also have like a telephone like that's with a like you pick it up from the home and there's no that
No.
there's like a corkscrew cord?
No, no. But you're right. I'm gonna get headphones. I need a
You
good
want to know something
microphone.
crazy, by the
What?
way, really fast? My kids, like, you know how when I don't know, I mean, I'm a lot older than you, I'm 42. So when I think of like, I was on the phone with someone, and if I was ever like talking about it, I'd be like this, right? But kids now, when they do, I was on the phone with someone, they go like this. Isn't that weird? I thought that was the weirdest thing. Like,
Like
they'll
this?
never go like this because they've never had a phone that did this.
Oh, like this.
Yeah. So they'll just put their hand up.
I go
Like,
like,
oh, I
yeah.
was talking to my friend. And I go like I would if I ever wanted to
Wow.
physically say I was on the phone, I would go like this. I wouldn't go
Yeah.
like this, but they've all had iPhones. I just think it's the funniest thing. Maybe that's a millennial thing. I should go on the millennial bachelor.
Right. Do you watch like all the shows with your family or do you watch them by yourself?
I watch most of the Bravo shows by myself, but my young kids love catching like scenes here and there. And we watch like Squid Games, Traders, Special
Mm.
Forces type shows, any of those kind of competition shows. We can Big Brother. We'll watch those with the kids. But for the most part, the reality shows like the Fighting Housewives, my kids would watch them. They love them, but I just feel a little weird about showing it to them.
Yeah, those are insane. I'm really into the Beverly Hills right now because the dinner party is like always iconic every year. And it's like just getting started. And Beverly Hills is going to get so good. So I can't wait to see all of that.
I'm obsessed.
I'm like kind of team Kyle.
Okay.
I feel like everyone's team Sutton. And like, do people just like her because she's so funny and popular? Like Kyle is like has enough of her. Like she's antagonizing her.
Kyle's had enough of Sutton from the first moment, though. Like, there's never really been a time. If you go back to those early episodes when Sutton just started, like back when they went, like when Crystal was there, like at the beginning, like I can't even remember Sutton's first season, but Kyle always had like a weirdness around Sutton. There was always like a little bit of a wall up. Do I think Sutton's completely like innocent? No, I think Sutton's definitely got some stuff going on, and she's an oddball, like 100%. But Kyle is, in my opinion, as hypocritical as you possibly can get in this way, because she loves to call other people out on their shit, and she cannot be called out on her own. She can't. She never can. And so to me, I find it annoying. I'm also, Josh is a big doser, so he knows what I feel, but I have multiple people that have told me that Morgan and Kyle have been in a relationship for so long. So she's lying to the whole world over and over and over, and then gaslighting us. Like, why are we coming up with this craziness?
If
When
I've always thought that she was dating Morgan too, but now I just don't care anymore. But maybe
who
she'll reveal
cares
it.
anymore? Yeah.
Maybe she'll reveal it at the reunion. Like maybe she has to wait that long.
Face Reality 16 on Instagram. So Eliza, she's been on my show, and she was the first one that really started doing the Instagram stories and deep diving on this. She is convinced that this is something that, will come out at the finale reunion, something like that. But at the end of the day, if it does come out in the reunion, just say, won't her audience feel so like, wait, what? You've been telling us that nothing's been going on straight up for months and months and months and months and months. Now you're going to all of a sudden just say it is and expect no one to feel like lied to?
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way, knowing Kyle, because she is a little bit of a producer, and she's not an actual producer on the show, but I think she's very smart about the way that the show is done. She's smart on TV. Like, she knows what she's doing. Whereas Sutton, I don't think, has any clue, right? But Kyle, I have a feeling she's mapped it out. Like this scene that we saw on the last episode of Beverly Hills, where she goes from the tattoo to Mauricio, was not actually that day, right? You've probably heard this too. The tattoo was healed, and the makeup was different, and the hair was different.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, like, she at some point said we should shoot a scene where I come home and I show Mauricio the tattoo, and it's like so different than how I was the scene before. It's all very produced. And so my question is, how is she going to manage to get through this season and come out with Morgan, if she ever does, without her audience feeling like she, screwed them?
I mean, I'm honestly not going to care that much. I'm a Kyle fan, but like I need to see it unravel. I do agree with your point though, 100%, and the way you explained it.
Yeah.
But I'm just not going to care.
I mean, look, because we're also like, we're realistic, and like, who cares? I'm happy for them if they're in love. Like, I think it's actually a great thing, but it's upsetting when people treat us stupid as audience
That's
members.
Fair. You have to like let us in. And when I was watching House of Kardashians, they were kind of talking about how they like keep the audience in to an extent, because you do have to like share, like how Kim like shared her wedding with Chris Humphries. Like it was the first time that like they let cameras in for like a celebrity wedding. But I don't know if that's a good analogy, metaphor, but I do feel like we'll feel a little duped, but also time will tell.
We're going to tune in.
We're going to tune in. I'm invested. My whole thing was like, just with the dinner, I just felt like Sutton, she didn't have to pull her aside like so quick. And she just kind of ruined her night at her house. And that's just how it felt for me. So that's why I'm team Kyle for this episode.
Totally. I can see it.
Like
I can see it. I don't agree with it, but I can see it.
That's my perspective. I'm like, has someone ever come to like your birthday in your house and ruined your night?
But she didn't ruin her night.
She did. But they just hate each other. How about they just ruin each other's night?
Sutton could have said anything and Kyle would have been mad. Sutton was just like, I'm sorry.
She shouldn't have invited her to her. She shouldn't have invited her.
Yeah. You're right.
She should not have been invited to that dinner party.
You're right. But she also invited Denise and Camille. She was looking for a scene that would be aired on future. Like, she wants this dinner party to be the blowout dinner party, because This is how it works. Like,
Oh.
there's no part of Kyle that would have invited Denise, Camille, and I know Teddy was invited also, but didn't choose to go. Like, this was a party so that it did create content.
There's going to be a lot more crossovers. Kim Richards is going to be back on this season for a few episodes. Meredith Marks is going to be popping up.
I like that.
Um, I just seeing more Denise and Camille. Like, I love how that's why I like Anne Marie, like the new housewife. I'm like, I don't know if we need another housewife. There's so many old, like, I'm not even invested in Crystal. Like,
I mean, I love Crystal as a person, but I find her storyline so incredibly boring.
what's her?
Why?
I don't know. She had a storyline about her
No,
brother.
about her brother.
I don't understand her storyline. She could be a great friend of, and Dorit is a friend of too at this point.
100%. But I'm interested if Dorit and PK are having a conversation. Like, I'm interested in it. The entire, like, the
True.
Crystal brother story is crazy. That's like that. Like, I wouldn't even be interested if it was Kyle talking about her brother. Like,
She doesn't have it.
why?
Did you hear Sutton say, if Dorit can find PK, maybe I shouldn't be so picky? It was
And then did you hear? She's so good. And then did you
such
hear
a
what
read.
PK came back, and he was like, "Oh, you wish you were Dorit."
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, what a read. Well, thank you so much for joining me for the past 50 minutes.
Aw, of course. I would always join you whenever I have free time. We got to join each other. We got to collaborate.
Yes, we are. You guys can check me out on Donna's channel a couple weeks
Last
ago, 2 weeks
last
ago,
week,
last week,
last Wednesday was the day after dancing. Maybe we'll do
perfect,
another one next Wednesday
after dancing.
after dancing. And hopefully, if we're both there, I'm
Oh
going to
my
try to get
God.
into the rap party.
Okay.
I think it's
Okay.
right after.
Oh shit. It's gonna be a long finale.
I'll put you in my pocket.
Yeah, I'm on the way. Okay, well, everyone go subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up. Leave your comments down below. Have a great weekend, and we will see you guys
Bye,
next
y'all.
week. Bye.